If you want to see how I made this delicious, juicy, flavorful, tangy, fresh salmon, stay tuned. Do you see the juices just sitting on top of the salmon? And it's so flaky, it's not dry. This is how your salmon should look when you serve it. And this recipe is so quick, guys. So I'm going to give you all the tips. Stay tuned and watch. Now, you know I had to start my cooking session off with a little bit of dancing. Ooh. Let's get started. We're going to take the salmon and put it into that bowl of cold water. Make sure it's nice and cold. And we're going to add some vinegar to it so it can just clean the fish, and it can take off like that slimy layer. Your fish shouldn't really have a scent to it. It should be fresh, but if it does have a slight fishy smell to it, the vinegar can help remove that as well. So I'm just going to place it in the bowl and just put a little vinegar in it. Gotta wash my hands first, you gotta stay clean. Just pour a little bit of the vinegar into the bowl. Honestly, I measure in bloops, so it's about 1 bloop, 2 bloop, 3 bloop, 4 bloops into the bowl. And then I just leave the fish for about 5 minutes. First, you want to pour out the water and the vinegar, and then pour some more cold water in there, swish it around, and pour it out a couple times just to make sure there's no more vinegar on the fish. Then you place the fish onto the cookie sheet that's lined with aluminum foil. And I'm just going to quickly wash my hands again. I touched the fish, and I'm going to have to touch some seasonings and such. I just use one hand to touch and one hand to season. So I started seasoning the top, but I realized I forgot to season the bottom. So I flipped them around with the skin side up and season them. I just put a little adobo on the skin and a little black pepper. Then I flip those babies around and I season the top. Now this is about 2 pounds of salmon, so I would say that you can season it how you would like to season it. You could probably use about like 1.5 teaspoons of seasoning, or the whatever seasoning salt you use. I don't really measure it. I just go based off of like what I used before and whether I use too much or too little, and then alter it next time. So I always cook salmon, so I always kind of know how much seasoning to use. Then I go over it with some garlic powder. If you have fresh garlic, of course that's better, but if you have powdered, it's just as good and flavorful. Then a little black pepper on top. Nom nom nom. Not too much black pepper. I don't really like my fish to be like spicy, or black pepper to get in my throat and I'm eating it and I'm going nobody got time for that. Then we add some honey. I love honey on salmon. It gives it this sweetness that goes with the tang of the lemon. It's so good. And I don't really measure it. I just do these random crisscrosses on it. Honestly, when I ate it, I wish I put a little bit more honey. So if you see the amount I added, add just a little bit more. If you have the same amount of salmon I do. And this is about 2 pounds. Next, you have to add some butter. Now, I've had salmon all my life, but I realized one time when I ate at a French restaurant that butter makes salmon taste so much better. Like, I don't like the dry salmon and you're just chewing it and it's hard to swallow. I like my salmon to be flaky and juicy, so I add about 3 tablespoons of butter. I know it looks like a lot. I promise you it's not. If you're watching your weight, you don't have to add as much butter, but this is about 2 pounds of salmon, about 4 or 5 serving sizes. Should be about 6, but we eat a little bit more than we should. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour some parsley flakes on it. If you have fresh flakes, you can add your fresh flakes. I only had dried, so I had to use what I had. And then some lemon. Kind of just squeeze it on there. If you want more of a lemony tang taste, I'd say squeeze some more. But if you just want a little bit of lemon on it, just squeeze a little bit like I did. So that's how it looks. It's well seasoned. It looks delicious. And so we're going to go ahead and make like a little foil tent. That's what I call it. And cover the salmon. Now I always keep a layer of foil on the bottom of the pan, just because when juices seep out, it'll get caught up on the foil, and it's just an easier cleanup. Like, who wants to sit and, clean up dishes after you just cooked a meal? So definitely line it with foil. And I went ahead and just got another piece of foil just to cover it. And then we're just going to throw. Set the oven to 375 degrees and then check and see how it is. So 15 minutes is up. I know that was so quick, guys. And look, it's still a little bit too raw on the top. I kind of want it to be like all light pink for the most part with a little bit. So I'm just gonna wrap it back up and put it on for about another 5 minutes or so. All right, so it's 5 minutes is up and this is how it looks. And it's not done, guys. We're not done just yet. So I baked it covered for about 20 minutes. You have to look at your fish and just see if it needs more or less time. And so I'm gonna broil it now for about 3 to 5 minutes, or 3 to 4 minutes rather. But before I broil it, I like to pour the juices all over it so it doesn't get dried out when you broil it. And the honey and everything in the sauce will just kind of like caramelize on top, and it'll just nicely brown. And look how it turns out, guys. I just put a few slices of lemon on top just for looks, and also you can use it for flavor. And I didn't even put a filter on this because I wanted you guys just to see the raw, unfiltered, beautiful salmon dish. It's so good. It's so flavorful. It's so fresh. It's tangy. It's sweet. It's flaky. There's not a dry piece of salmon in this dish, guys. It is so good. So if you think the salmon came out okay, I know you can't taste it, let me know in the comments below. And if you're going to try out this recipe, let me know as well. And I want to keep pushing out a few cooking videos here and there, so give this video a thumbs up. If you think I should post more cooking videos, give this video a few thumbs up. And also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the post notification so you can get notified each and every time I post a video, guys. And you can be the first person to view it. But look at that salmon. It looks so good. All right, until next time, guys. Thanks for watching.